Hey there folks, Leo Alderpold, not in my front room for a change, which is nice. Well, today I'm really pissed. I'll explain why in a minute, but I thought I'd come out and have my breakfast and a cup of coffee out in the woods. I've got a couple of days of work left, but I'm taking quite a lot of holiday between now and the end of this month. So I'll go to where I'm going, get myself set up, and catch you in a second. Right, how you doing? Well, I'm sitting in the same place as I recorded my Beechwood Ramble video a little while ago, a few months back, a bit earlier in the year. And if you remember, at that time I was just testing a new fold-up stove. Well, I've subsequently found quite a number of problems with that fold-up stove, so what I've done is I've invested in the Firebox Gen 2. Now, I'm not going to go and explain these things, there's a lot of stuff out there on YouTube about them, but this is the first burn. This is altogether a much better stove than what I've been using, and what I'm going to start it with is some of the fat wood that my good friend Sean sent me a little while ago, if you remember, from a box opening. So I'm going to get this thing started, and I'll pick you back up in just a moment. So while I'm waiting for that to build up a nice bed of coals, something I can put a bit more fuel wood on to get my brew on, I'll just give a couple of shout outs first of all. Or a quick shout out, I should say, because there'll be others in the course of this video. I just wanted to give a shout out to my buddy Kai, who I got a package through the post from yesterday, sent me a packet of St. Bruno ready rubbed, wanting to know whether or not it was any different from the original. I think I've only had the Mac Baron one anyway, but I'm not sure, and I haven't had the ready rubbed version, I've only had the flake. Very common over the counter blend here. But he also sent me this really cool tamper with a bottle opener on it, which is awesome. So thank you very much for that, Kai. But just to let you know why it is that I'm pissed. Well, as you guys know, I've got a very short time left now before I go to Papua New Guinea. Next month, I've got about 5 weeks, 6 weeks left now. I've actually only got 5 days of work left here in England. And I was expecting my resettlement money to come through, which it did this morning. And as it transpires, somebody made a cock up on my paperwork. And the resettlement grant, or the resettlement money, the money I get to move 10,000 miles away from here, isn't the £2,700 equivalent that it says on my contract. It actually amounts to only £300, which doesn't pay for anything. And so it means no GoPro, which means you're going to have to stick with me on videos recorded on my iPhone, unfortunately. But it was an important lesson in how admin in Papua New Guinea works, or doesn't. All I got to do now is make sure that they're actually going to pay me what it says on my contract they're going to pay me. But we'll leap that bridge when we get to it. Well, that's going pretty well now. That's significantly better than my other stove. Well, I'm going to just wait for this to die down a bit. I'll get my brew on. One thing I was also going to do today, the other day I was going through a load of my stuff, and we were also going through the crawl space underneath the eaves of my house, and we found a load of gear that belonged to a former occupant of the house who was a Royal Marine. And one of the things that he left was a shit ton of MREs. So I figured today I'm going to have some breakfast out in the woods here, and I'm going to have bacon and beans from the year 2004, and hopefully it'll still be good, but we'll get to that in a minute. Well, the coffee that I'm brewing up, when I can find it. What have I done with that now? Yeah, here it is. Hiding underneath my rucksack. Coffee I'm brewing up is the stuff that was sent to me by my good friend Tobias recently. I've ground this at home. Now he tells me it's, I can't remember the name of it, but it's from Ethiopia, and it's dried with a cherry on. So it gives it a very distinctive, quite fruity flavour. And I've been looking forward for a while to having it this style, cooked over the fire. Oh yeah, smells great. Oh, I wish I had smelly vision. It smells fantastic. Really fruity, almost like blackcurrant. Yeah. Yeah, you get your nose in there, it actually tastes really smells really fruity, just like blackcurrant, like Ribena or something. Awesome. So we'll wait for that to brew now. Well, there we go. Got my cup of coffee. I figured, while that cools down, let's check out this 13-year-old military ration. Now, ordinarily you're supposed to either cook these with a heat pack they come with, or boil in a bag. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it straight into my billy can, because I want to make sure that it's still good, of course. Oh, kitchen sink. Can't leave home without that. So let's have a look. Now these things are supposed to have a shelf life of 3 years. But well, it's well known that as long as they're sealed, the packages are still sealed, they're generally good for a decade or so, even more, 30 years sometimes. But let's give this a sniff and see whether or not it's any good. Well, it smells alright. Looks alright. Well, let's get it on the cooker, heat it up, see how we go. Alright. Well, while this is heating up, I will let you do your thing. And I'll catch you in just a sec. Well, that's bubbling away there. So, time for the moment of truth. Still looks good. Still smells alright. Ooh, hot. That is not bad. It's a little bit salty, but it's in good shape. That is not bad at all. So there you go. 13-year-old bacon and beans. I'm going to finish this. And you can join me for a smoke in just a minute. Well, Tobias, that is some good coffee, mate. Thank you for that. Oh. It's every bit as I thought it would be. Every bit as good as I thought it would be. Done on the stove here. And I'm smoking some Motzek Strang. Also kindly given to me recently by Tobias. I've been a very lucky guy recently. Well, folks, that's about it, I reckon. Glad you could join me. Nice to get out and have some coffee and food and a smoke out in the woods for a change, and not at my desk back at home, which is kind of where I've been for quite a while now, as you'll know. But just a few more days of work left, and then I'm free. Need a haircut as well, I reckon. well, once again, you folks take care. I hope you're all doing well out there in YouTube land. Thanks again to my subscribers and followers and people who've become very good friends over the last couple of years. I very much appreciate you all. I'm going to finish my coffee and my smoke. And there's a lot of mushrooms around here, so I might go back with a basket. In any case, see you folks real soon. Cheers.